Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm very happy that I'm done with my quarantine and also my results came out negative. I'm very excited to be back to shoot new content. Finally, we are past 20k followers. I'm still going to do a giveaway when this thing wears down. But today's video, I'm going to talk about Cuba, but a more informative video because you guys asked a lot of questions, so I'm going to tackle those questions today. And other than that, guys, hope you're keeping safe, washing your hands, sanitizing, staying healthy, only going outside when necessary. And guys, let's take this seriously. This thing is real. So I'll go straight into it and answer the questions that you asked. So question number one, someone asked, is it a definite bucket list worth having? Yes, it is, especially for someone who loves history, someone who loves a place where things are not fast-paced, a place where things are chilled. It's full of culture, it's full of music. I felt when I landed at the airport, which is very, very tiny, guys, you can't even compare to JKA, it's very tiny. I felt like I walked back into the past, into the old times. They have very old cars. It was very, very different. You cannot compare with the crazy, busy, bustling Nairobi. So I think it's worth a bucket list, especially if you want to go and relax, have a quiet time away from the crazy lifestyle that we usually have. It's a very nice place for someone who's adventurous, someone who likes being up and about, outgoing. I'm the kind of person who goes on holiday, who wants to stay in a hotel, relax, chill, have a massage. Sadly, yeah, that's not the kind of holiday. It's a kind of holiday where you go be adventurous, go for dancing, sightseeing. It's a place where you need to have that spirit of trying new things, to have curiosity. So if you're one of those people, definitely on the bucket list. And obviously, if you love dancing, they have amazing, amazing dancers. People only know salsa, but they are very good dancers because they really value their culture, their music, their art, their theater. So they're very big on that. So if you're one of those, definitely something on a country on your bucket list. Second question, was it a solo trip? How would you advise a solo traveler, and is it safe? It wasn't a solo trip. I went there with some of my friends, and it was organized by Havana Salsa Tours. I don't know if you guys know Anne from 365 Day Challenge. So she's the one who invited me, and it was a dance kind of trip, which I did not dance, and I was very clear from the beginning, I'll go for the trip to experience Cuba, but I will not dance because I'm not a salsa dancer and I'm not good at it. You can go solo, by the way. Cuba is very safe. They always have this joke where they say that the government values foreigners more than them. It's because Cuba depends on tourism for their economy, so the tourism is really, really big, and so they value their foreigners, and it's very, very safe, I can tell you that. And you can solo travel, it's okay, and no one will bother you. And I would prefer if you know a bit of Spanish. It helps because they're a Spanish speaking country. I did not know anything other than hola, so if you're a solo traveler, I'll say brush up on your Spanish, so at least you'll be able to communicate. But it's a very, very safe country. Must-see places and itinerary. I will be very honest, guys. Like I said, I'm very conservative. I'm not very curious. But when you go to Cuba, definitely drive the old cars around, old Havana, new Havana, sightsee. Go to the place where, is it freedom fighting? Where they have those, the freedom fighters. Go to Trinidad. Trinidad is the most beautiful. It's like 4 hours from Havana. It's very beautiful. You'll see a lot of the old buildings, very nice streets. It's very touristy. We also went to Varadero, where we had a very big hotel, a resort which was all-inclusive. Yeah, guys. That was my first time to ever do an all-inclusive hotel. So there are many things you can do. They have a big art museum. They have a graffiti street. There's dancing in every club. Every night on the streets, there's music, especially dancing, guys. We'll have a blast. At some point, it got a bit too tiring for me because every club I went, it was just salsa, salsa, salsa. But you can request for songs. I requested for Susanna and they'd play for you. But they're very big on their traditional dances. Salsa, there are many others. We have tango, we have the mambo, kizomba, they have their own hip-hop and rap. So if you're really into dancing and music, it's a place to go. They have a lot of art museums, graffiti streets. They're very big on preserving their culture. I think because of the state oppression from the States, because, you know, they're a communist country, they really value their culture. That's all they have. So they value their culture, and they're very big on theater, art, music, dance. So you will enjoy yourself. There's a lot to see. I didn't go to many of them. I think I only went to the National Museum. So there are all kinds of museums there. I also went to the Ram Factory, definitely. So there they show you how ram was made from many, many years ago. It was very interesting to realize that Nigerians came all the way from Nigeria, and they were the people who were working in the factories. And actually when you see them on the streets, it's a mix. You find that they're like a mix of African and white, so they have a lot of Nigerian features. So even there, they're also Nigerians. So the guys used to work at the factories making the rum, and rum is made out of sugarcane, and their rum is very, very strong, guys. Their cocktails are very, very strong. Hey guys, I'm mojito before the tour. Wow, this shit is strong. As in, you can't compare with the cocktails. Yeah, you can't joke. Those cocktails make you very high. You can go to the factory where they make cigars. If you're big on cigars, there are all kinds of cigars. Sadly, myself, I just can't take cigars. You can go to see the castle, the seaside. What else? Did I go to a nightclub? Yes, I went to a nightclub. Like I said, they play a lot of salsa. What else can you see? Oh, take the old cars, go around the town, which was very cool. Pick whichever car you want. They play for you Spanish music, that kind of music, and it's a lot of fun. I'm trying to think of something else that I did. Visit the forest, hiking. They're very tropical forests. Yeah, that's basically it. Because I was only there for 6 days. I'm sure you guys, you can Google and you can find out more things to do there. So like, they don't have malls. Okay, they don't have malls like us. They don't have supermarkets, so you can't shop. They don't have like malls that you have the Zara's, that like us, so you have Sarit, Westgate. No. They don't have that. They just have, and very few places will you see supermarkets, and they sell basics: cigars, cigarette, rum, a lot of rum. Like, I really struggled to find crisps, cookies, and snacks like those. So if you go there, guys, be equipped with your own snacks, which I didn't pack. Another thing, you can find that their fashion is heavily influenced by the States, and I guess because Cuba is not far from the States, so you find they wear those Filas, those Nikes, but them themselves, they don't have it in their country. So I don't know how they access it, because I didn't see any shop. There was a street where it's a tourist street, but I only saw one shop selling clothes, and you can't even compare. Like, it's not the latest fashion. So there is not a place to go shop, guys. No. It's a place maybe to go to get cigars, rum, maybe shop their traditional wear, but it's not a trip where you go shop, which was also another thing, which is not my kind of thing. I like to travel and be able to shop. So this was very different from my usual. You find most of them are traders, and they make their own stuff like clothes, crochet clothes, beadworks, and they sell it to tourists. Like I said, in Havana, it's very, very big on tourism. But also they have teachers, they have doctors. Cuba has very good doctors, but you see, the problem is the pay is very little, even for the teachers. And that's why you find that those people sometimes have to get government rationing in terms of food, so they have a place where they go get their ration every week, because the economic status is not that good. So the government tries to chip in where they can. Did you have a travel agent, and what was your budget? I didn't have a travel agent because Havana Salsa from the UK was organizing it through Anne, but the budget, I'd say, economy ticket between $1,800 to $2,000 if you're going economy, and you can live in a casa. So the thing is, where you stay is someone's house. It's called a La Casa. So a La Casa is someone's home, and what they do, because the citizens are trying to make an extra coin, is that they will rent to tourists the room. So like, let's say in my house, I have 2-3 rooms that are empty, and then I will rent to you at a fee and then offer you breakfast, and that's it. So most people who go to Havana they stay in those La Casa. So I was in one of them, but I wouldn't do it next time, because to be honest, guys, they also have hotels. There's Kempinski, not many. Like in Havana, I think there were 5 very good hotels, other than the National Hotel, which is a Cuba International Hotel. There are like 5 others. Actually, there was one which had just been finished, a new one, a big one, as big as Kempinski, but I don't know the name. So if I would go next time, I would do that, because it was quite weird waking up in the morning and going to the city room and seeing someone's husband with a vest seated on the chair, and yeah, having breakfast in the same city room. But I would say they were very clean, they were very friendly. Cuban people are very friendly. So if you go, most people stay in the La Casa, which is someone's home, like an Airbnb, but you're staying with that person. The budget, I'd say, if it's the ticket 2,000, the La Casa, and spending there, I'd say budget between $4,500 or $5,000, just to be on the safe side. Instead of carrying dollars, I'd say carry pounds, because the pound has a higher value. So we were advised to carry pounds. Cheapest and shortest way to go to Cuba. From Nairobi to Havana, the cheapest is KLM or Turkish Airline. And if you do Turkish, it means you'll move from Nairobi to Istanbul, then to Havana. If you do KLM, Nairobi, Amsterdam, Havana. But there are many ways you can get there. All of us went differently. There's some guys who left Nairobi, New York, JFK, and then went to Havana straight because it's not far, and that is by JetBlue. From the UK, you can go from Gatwick Airport straight to Havana. But from Nairobi, the cheapest is Turkish or KLM. Those are the two. You can also do Lufthansa, it's not as bad. Emirates, I didn't do Emirates because the layover was twice. It was Dubai and then somewhere else, then Havana. The layover is definitely long because it is not a destination that many people go. So you'll find my layover, the first trip, I think was 15 hours. Coming back again with another 12 hours. It's the longest layover I've ever had. What's the visa processing time to Cuba, and do Kenyans need one, and for how much? The visa processing time, you need a visa, by the way, from Kenya to Cuba. It is only 5,000 shillings. The Cuban embassy is in Runda. I made a mistake. I Googled it, and the address that was there was in Town International House, but they moved to Runda. It is 5,000 shillings. The form is a 2-pager. It's very short, very basic, and they are very fast and very friendly. Actually, I wouldn't lie to you. I'll be very honest. Mine took less than 24 hours. So you can do 24 hours, 48 hours. I don't think it's more than 3 days, but you do need a visa, and it's 5,000 shillings. And don't go carrying $50, just 5,000 shillings. They want Kenya shillings. Is there internet, and what's the cost? Guys, there is no internet when you land in Cuba. Roaming doesn't work when you land in Cuba. Their internet is you buy cards like this. So this is a card. It only gives you internet for an hour. So you have to go to a Wi-Fi zone. So they have Wi-Fi parks where you can go use this card for an hour, and that's it. Which really helps you switch off from social media. It helps you detox. And also what I found out was interesting was that you could see kids and their parents bonding. They'd go to the Wi-Fi park, like a kid gets this for 1 hour, downloads the 2 games, and it's a fun way of them hanging out, just to get in touch with the outside world. So when you land there, you need to buy this. And also if you're in a house where they have a router, like my La Casa had a router, and actually, my La Casa was, I think, #1 on TripAdvisor. The lady is really good. So she had a router, and you can use it in a house. But most places, they don't have Wi-Fi, as in they don't have the router, so you have to go to a Wi-Fi park. So you buy this. I bought this to remember, So it's $1. So there's no internet unless you buy that, and there's no roaming. Your phone does not roam. Safaricom doesn't roam in Cuba. Something they should maybe think about. Someone asked how many hours layover. Like I said, usually between 10 to 15 hours layover. I use Turkish Airlines. I don't know KLM. Are there any good hotels apart from Hotel Nacional? Yes. Like I say, there's Kempinski. There are 5 to 6 good hotels. So you're not restricted to La Casa. And in the big hotels, there is Wi-Fi. So you don't really need to buy the cards. Another thing, by the way, guys, in the big hotels, you're able to flush the tissue down the toilet. If you go to a La Casa, someone's house, in anyone's house, their sewage system is not very good, so you cannot flush tissue down the toilet. Once you finish using the tissue, you have to throw it in a bin. It was very, very disturbing. It was the strangest thing ever. Yep. So you have to really think twice before you go #2. Yes, there is water, but if you use tissue, you block the system. So guys, that's one thing to know. It was very shocking for us. That's other things where I'm saying I would go to a hotel. But they have hot water and it's clean, so that's just the only thing. But in a hotel, you can flush down the tissue. People were saying carry your own tissue, but in most places I went, I saw that they're providing tissue. But I carried, but at the end of the day, I ended up leaving it for that lady because there was tissue in the house. But just carry just in case. Guys, carry everything. Shower gel, medicine, I stocked up. I carried antibiotics, antihistamine, Panadol. Don't forget, they don't have these things. Sometimes they also don't have the drugs themselves in the hospital. So it's a country when you go, you'll be fully prepared. Everything, carry everything. If it's hair oil, lotion, those naturalista things people natural hair need, carry everything. Because things are not that readily accessible. Did you experience racism in Cuba? None at all. Some of them look even darker than us. They look like us because, like I told you, they have also the mix between Africans, the Nigerians, and themselves, and they are very friendly. The government really, really appreciates tourists and tourism because it really boosts the economy. The men are really, how do I say it? We're even joking when we're there. Like, the men are very polite and they treat the ladies so well. You know, we're saying, hey, when you come to Nairobi, we get a culture shock again. They're not as rough, you know. They were very nice. Even when they're dancing with you, they request, can I please dance with you? They hold you gently. Something I noticed, because of the frequent dancing, you find that the salsa teachers and the dancers, they shower twice a day, brush their teeth, use mint, spray, because they know it's a very close, what do I say? It's a very close, intimate dance. I had a really hard time the first time someone put their hand around me and I had to put one on their shoulder. I think you saw the stories. It was very awkward for me. So from then on, I didn't dance again because I'm not used to that, you get? Because in Nairobi, what we do, we bend over, we do whatever. We don't touch one another. So for me, it was a culture shock. But there was no racism at all. Another thing is they like banter. So like if you're walking, the streets are small. If you're walking down the streets, the men will be like, senorita, and they go, you know, you have a nice bum or you look beautiful. And if they see your face has changed, because sometimes, you know, some people are not used to such kind of banter, they tell you, oh, I'm very, very sorry. So they're very, very nice. I didn't experience any racism. No one was rude. They're willing to help, even though my Spanish was terrible. I think so far I know hola, senorita, agua is water. Very nice people. Another question is, what did you learn of their famous healthcare system? I learned that their healthcare system is really good. Their doctors are very, very well trained. They are let down by, you know, lack of medicine, proper equipment, but they are very, very dedicated. And what I loved about them is everyone does their work with so much, I don't know how to call it, patriotism. I don't know. They value their country, their culture, the little they have. Someone who's cleaning the road. You look at those old cars, how they take care of them. You know, that car, someone is wiping their old car. Some cars are very, very old, but they're in very pristine condition. So I think because of being oppressed for so many years, they value the little they have. And this is what humbled me. You know, you come here and you realize, guys, we have so much, yet we complain a lot. And I think this experience made me appreciate what we have at home and not to take it for granted. Because these are people who have little, but they are very happy, very joyful. And they also have this thing, which I found we have in common. They laugh at their problems. You know, they have jokes, they have memes. You know, because what else do they do? That's their everyday life. So they also laugh at their problems, and they are very, very jovial people. Definitely in terms of Cuban people, they're amazing. Cuban cuisine you enjoyed the most? I'll be very honest, I was a bit let down by the food. It's not as spicy as I thought, but I love the plantain. Plantain is there all year round. Imagine, guys, they don't have fries because it's not the season for potatoes. There's a lot of pork, chicken, shredded beef with vegetable, rice with beans. Rice comes together with beans. They have fruits. They have mapera, a lot of mapera, bananas. And yeah, basically that's it. And you find because they don't have so much junk, they eat their traditional food. But my favorite was the plantain. Although some restaurants do serve very nice pasta, you know me with pasta. So yes, but that is mostly what I ate myself. Someone said, mind sharing how the virus was tested. The virus was tested at a hotel where people who had traveled had to go and get tested. So I was tested there, and the government doctors came and they swabbed us deep through the nose. It was not painful, just uncomfortable, and deep through the tongue. That's where the test was taken. It was called Azua Hotel in Westlands. Did you apply your visas for the Kenyan embassy? No, Cuban embassy, like I said, it's in Runda. Was it necessary, especially during these times, to travel? Did you have any fears? Guys, when I was traveling to Cuba, don't forget it was a planned trip which I planned last year. By the time I was traveling, the COVID-19 virus was not that big, and I think people are not also scared. People are not open. There are not many cases. So, you know, I thought, and why miss the trip, the experience? There was no refund. I couldn't cancel because you needed 21 days to go. And I thought, why not? So guys, that's why I traveled. And there's no guarantee in life. I could also not have started and stayed in Nairobi and still go and sick, you know. Oh, guys, I wanted to show you the money, how it looks like. So when you go to Cuba, if you're a tourist, there are two kinds of currencies. If you are a resident, if you're a citizen, you get the money that you use is called CUP. But if you're a tourist and you're coming to the country, you only access CUC, the cook. And this is how they look like. So because I carried pounds, 1 pound is 1.3 CUC. So you can do the math, guys. A pound in Kenya is like 135 bob. So 1 pound is 1.3 CUC, meaning 1 pound is 100, meaning 1 CUC is $103. So that's the currency. That's how it looks like. I showed you the card for the internet. I was able to buy some cigars for gifting, guys. Maybe Mike will try. I'm not big on cigars because my chest can't take it. I also bought this lovely crochet dress because they're big on crochet dresses. I can't wait to wear maybe when I go to Mombasa. It's the only thing I shopped. So it was the cigars, this dress, and then I got this thing which shows you how to make their cocktails because they were really nice. So their main cocktails are pina colada, mojito, canchanchara. This one is dangerous, guys. Another one is daiquiri. I think I'm saying the right way. And all these are made with rum. So this is a story that I need to tell you guys. So I bought the rum. I bought these 2 rums. An 18-year-old and a 25-year-old. They were not cheap. They were like total 300 pounds. And then I woke up very early because Varadero, where we are, and Havana, the airport, is 2.5 hours. My flight was at 10, so I had to get to the airport at 8:30. So in my hurry of packing, because I woke up at 5, I put the rum in my carry-on suitcase. So when I was checking to security, they had to remove the rum and throw it in the bin or wherever they take it. I'm sure they drank it. But I was very disappointed, guys. The rum didn't make it home, and I don't know why I didn't remember to check it in, and I've traveled so many times. So I wasn't able to come home with my rum, so I don't have any rum. So I'll go to my friends and hope I can get some to make these cocktails, because to be honest, guys, the rum there is legit. You don't joke with it. Yeah, so those are the things I got from Havana. I didn't shop much. It's not a shopping trip, like I said. It's a trip to go experience history, culture, dance, a place where you go to move away from just the everyday busy life and chill out. If I was to go back to Havana, do it a different way, go to a hotel, do it maybe when I'm a bit older, when I don't have to worry about the kids, because the no Wi-Fi and no connection drove me mad. I was worried about the kids at home, even though Mike was there. So I'd do it like, let's say, when I'm older, God willing. I'd definitely go back. But the economy is improving day by day, and they are very lovely and amazing people. Main religion in Havana is called Santa Maria, and it's like Catholic but with a bit of a tweak, where they incorporated some African religious rituals, and they wear full white. They also have a bit of Muslims because of the Nigerians. You know the way here we have Protestants and stuff like that, but small. The main religion is Santa Maria. I found that they are not so strict in terms of how they dress. To be honest, guys, I was shocked on the streets. People wear short things. It didn't matter how big you are. I was in so much shock. You know, everything of mine was long, my dresses. People had shorts, mini skirts. And someone is this big, you know, because of eating so much starch. But let me tell you guys, you dress however, no one bothers you. They are very free in terms of their dressing. They're not conservative like us. And everyone just minds their business, you know. Life is slow. There's no hurry in life. Even when you go to be served, they take your time. At the airport, they take forever to check you in. Life is really slow. It's, I don't know. Do I say Tanzania? Or Zanzibar? Yeah, something like that. Life is really slow. And also there is the area where there are the affluent people, where there are embassies, where there are ministers who stay. Yeah, it's very nice. It's the same like just here in Nairobi. But the most, do you say picturesque, or where I really liked was Old Havana. It looks really nice with the old buildings, well maintained, different cultures. They are small tiny houses, but it takes you back in time. So it was a really beautiful place. In terms of, the men really love women, you can see. But you know, they treat you, they're so charming, they treat you so well. So to be honest, guys, they're up wanaona, uko mabwana wako na mabibi wengi uko hivyo. But you know, the men, they have game, you know, they dance with you, they are charming, you know, so they are, yeah, be careful. But also the thing is, they also are not, you know, that you can go there and you're afraid someone wants to befriend you because maybe they want to use you or to get themselves out of their what is it called, their economic situation. No, the police really protect the tourists. So please, guys, relax. If a man jokes with you, joke back, smile. Don't forget, most of them have not traveled from Cuba, so they're happy just to see another person from another country. So go there, relax, enjoy, switch off from the world, learn some dancing. Sadly, I wasn't able to because I didn't know any step. I felt so intimidated. So from now on, I'm going to do salsa lessons twice a week with a private instructor until I get it. But they were really friendly people, and it's a beautiful country. And I know over time the economy is going to pick up. So guys, all in all, I had to cut my trip short by 2-3 days because of the virus. This trip took me back. In Cuba, it took me back to those campus days, high school days. You know, there was no internet. You know, we weren't obsessed with social media. We were in our own world. We didn't have pressure from the outside world. I remember during my time, like if I was to go to a cyber, because I'd have to go to a cyber. I didn't own a laptop. We didn't have a computer at home. I'd go to a cyber with a purpose. And I think they charge 50 cents or 1 bob per minute. So I go there, I'm either applying for a job, sending a CV, or maybe I'm sending homework to the teacher, the lecturer, which was very few times because the lecturer knew not everyone would access. And you're just comfortable yourself, no pressure seducing who's doing what, who's driving what, who's eating what, you know. And also you find that we had to put our phones away. We had to talk, laugh with each other, joke, reminisce about old times. You are a group, and the group, most of them were from the UK, from other parts of the world. We were able to interact, get to know more about them. Others who had come to Cuba before, like 10 years ago, would tell us how Cuba has developed. And it was just a wonderful time to switch off. Fine, I know I have OCD, I had a few panic attacks, but then at the end of the day I came home and the house was not on fire and things still went on. And yeah, it was quite a different experience from my usual trips. So I'd advise you guys, once in your lifetime, please make a point of going to Cuba. So that marks the end of the video, guys. I hope you've learned something. It was informative. Feel free to ask questions on the DM. On the comments, I will answer. DM me any question, whatever I'm able to answer, whatever experience, I will answer. Watch out for the next video. It's going to be even better than this one. I'm going to have Michelle on it, and we're going to talk about the experience of coming back home. But most of all, guys, thank you very much for watching, for subscribing, share with your friends and family. And during this time, guys, let's keep calm, positive, and support one another where we can. Bye, guys.